this course, to being important was wasteful time for the people who don't realize who you are. We will either find a way for the making one, for the source is, still for the year went on, for the high trouble, for the trust. But it was getting better, but when it's all over, it's time to leave, not continue, for watering a dead flower. But I think if any song can touch the heart, then you should value it. Your mission is so busy for the love of your life that you had no time. And the spirit for the hate you said, this shit really is getting bad for you to get bad. Maybe they beat the hell out of me for doing things to make you happy. You can never obtain peace in the outer world without it. Makes us completely different. You do not have an unburden for your soul for everyone. It would be enough for that. You know that you do not love and education. Make the choice to love you. Defend yourself. Maybe the love will get out of you. You're so brave enough to be quiet and not forget what you're saying. Falling in love myself. Humble to the proud, but I'm not arrogant either. Soft for the concept, but they find a reason for the people sharing with you.
You might as well be pressed into the butterflies, but you can't see the wings for the rest of the world, can you?
You might as well be pressed into the butterflies, but you can't see the wings for the rest of the world, can you? Or leaning on history for the vivid line to be content with this is not manipulation for you for thinking something is finding yourself perish for the deviating but whether you can never recall to details of reminding yourself doing the work with this is what will be carefully then do better if you had the values of the You might as well be pressed into the butterflies, but you can't see the wings for the rest of the world, can you? Or leaning on history for the vivid online. Vivid line to be content with this is not manipulation for you for thinking. Something is finding yourself perish for the deviating of the what you can never recall to details of finding yourself. Doing the work with this is what will be carefully then divided for if you have the values to define yourself. The only of what you severely want to change in your serve. But wanted to see that the projects remain stable inside of one time for the worth mentioning. This is the purchasing for the what you have to order. Order yourself around with you. You must be the manager for yourself and your band. Fictioning everything for the panic and you can not log on for the morning for your internet for the not be captured for the deleting of the what you can find yourself for the bleeding into something else to believe in and for the changing for the reason you love me or for the reason that we could be breaking be over for the dark is losing dark silence and this is what temperament simply finding cheap fit firm and affirming really realistic for the lips of that's resurrected for the ways that you use your body language or understanding. You must think I'm crazy, but not for you having the responsibility for the holding of you coming profound and aware of it that I ain't. For the feeling, for the feels, for the ever so grateful for how the proposition for you to be kept for long enough. And this is the not. This is the blood clots, but either we'll find a way or not. This is not for caring at all. For the possibilities of what you feel is not yours at all. It could be somebody's with the opposite, and like most misery, it starts with a parent's happiness, and you can find an excerpt of these to place some poems in different positions for it to be miscellaneous and anonymous. Maybe it's not, it's anonymous in different paradigm altogether for the different dimensions with different colors that we belong more than a primary, train of thought more than elementary. Very rare, crowning yourself would be current of an ignorant. You can never explain despair, awares, the cares, it wears, the worry for the bitch, for the hurt, the mind, the bear. I can barely stand it, debate. If you pay attention, I can brother, baby. I can remind you of repeat myself so many times that I can hope and never refill it, but I've been trying to move forward. And forward for the ability to get we all to be together for the you have the stars in the nights and the better together for the night we want. And this is the place where we can see in the poem. And these are the paradise that we can find. So dark blue side is this is a resurrection for you can be the ingloated for the cloud of the sympathies and found the darkness inside of the symbol of the patterns is overtaken and your hypothesis is what we're talking about for this is not ourselves starting to what make it happen and this is still in the work without the need for your contentment for your laziness and I don't want to make up anything for to be out of space and make up your mind if you want to be righteous or not for the syntax of error it's not be later I read for the reflection, this beloved for the dare to see me, for the beyond for the feeling, for the physical appearance and the deeper into the focus in the timeless and the universal energy that perceives us. If I have time to courage you the same, and I can find myself anonymous to the purple brain for the meditation to chill, for I can be open-minded. You can find time to time, find the semblance for the evidence and never be yours. For the crystal and corridors and open up the prisms and you can be. Or you are never making fun of someone else's because of the thing that they can save you from the world for the differences of one different pace and journey and every time it takes to find you like sunsets no vastness, no notes, no diary, no journal maybe this journey that we can find through episodes attracted to being of myself for the completely open-minded with me and this is all my philosophy that I can understand.
You might as well be pressed into the butterflies, but you can't see the wings for the rest of the world, can you? Or leaning on history for the vivid line to be content with this is not manipulation for you for thinking. Something is finding yourself perish for the deviating of what you can never recall to details of finding yourself. Doing the work with this is what you will be careful to do. If you have the values to define yourself, the meaning of what you severely want to change in your serve. But wanted to see that the projects remain stable inside of one time for the worth mentioning. This is the purchasing for the what you have to order. Order yourself around with you must be the manager for yourself and your band. dictioning everything for the panic, and you can like log on for the morning for your internet, for the not be captured, but you're deleting it for the what you can find yourself, or deleting it for something else to believe in, for the change, for the reason to love me, or for the reason that we could be breaking, be over, for the dark is losing, dark silence, and this is for temperaments, if we find it cheap, then firm and affirmant, and really realistic for the lips, so that's resurrected for the ways that you use your body language to understand it. You must think I'm crazy, but not for you having the responsibility for the holding of you, coming profound and aware of it that I ain't. For the feeling, for the feels, for the avarice, so grateful for having a proposition for you to be kept for long enough, and this is the knot. This is the blood clots, but either we'll find a way or not. This is not for caring at all, for the possibilities of what you feel is not your at all. It can be somebody's with the opposite, and like most basically it starts with a parent's happiness, and you can find out. Excerpts of these certain places falls in a different position. Sunday morning. Your mind is moving pressed into the butterflies, but you can't see the wings for the rest of the world.
Without the discourse, to being important was wasteful time for the people who don't realize. Without the discourse, to being important was wasteful time for the people who don't realize who you are. We would either find a way for the making one, for the source is. Still, for the year went on, for the had trouble, for the trustling. For it was getting better, but when it's all over, it's time to leave and not continue for watering a dead flower. But I think if any song can touch the heart, then you should value it. Your mission be so busy for the love in your life that you have no time for the hate, regret, or the fear. in the spirit for the hating to say it, but this shit really is get to happen for this to get to happen. This gets to happen, but this gets to happen. Or maybe they beat the hell out of me for doing things to make you happy. We can never obtain the peace in the outer world, for the outer makes us complete again. For you do not have the unburden for the soul for everyone. It will be enough for that, or those for that you do not love in education. It can be the choice of weapon that you defend yourself with. But there be the people that'll beat you, and you're so brave enough to be quiet, but I forget that you're suffering. Falling in love with myself is just as beautiful as an experience of love is. It's learning to laugh and your awkward tendencies and smile at your own quirky habits, for the learning to be grateful for the many sides that you have, for the confidence and crazy. And not to be calling yourself, realizing that you're one of a kind, for you deserve to the world for the best of the person you can be, for the falling in love with yourself, for the being happy for your life and not knowing into this in one moment at a time. You're beautiful, simply just because of who I am. And this is not for just a pit to quote to go for the you can find the dad to country where you can find the country home on the inside the sand. Philosophies of lessons, motivation to your inspiration, to be confident in many days to be wasted. Preparing yourself for the others and wishing, and strengthening your weakness. It's only for the accepting of what you succeed. Now the discourse to be important was wasteful time for the people who don't realize who you are. And we either find a way for the making, for the sources, still for the year went on, for the had trouble, for the trust, but it was getting better, but when it's all over, it's time to leave and not continue for whatever did flow. But I think if any soul can touch the heart, then you should value it. Your mission be so busy for the love in your life that you have no time for the hate, regret, or the fear. In the spirit for the hating to say it, but this shit really is get to happen for this to get to happen. This gets to happen. This gets to happen. Maybe they beat the hell out of me for doing things to make you happy. We can never obtain the peace in the outer world, for the outer makes us complete again. For you do not have the unburden for the soul for everyone. It can be enough for that. And those for that you do not love in education. It can be the choice of weapon that you defend yourself with. There be the people that'll beat you, and you're so brave enough to be quiet, but I forget that you're suffering. Falling in love with myself is just as beautiful as an experience of love is. It's learning to laugh and your awkward tendencies and smile at your own quirky habits, for the learning to be grateful for the many sides that you have, for the confidence and crazy. And not to be calling yourself, realizing that you're one of a kind, for the you deserving to the world for the best of the person you could be, for the falling in love with yourself, for the being happy for your life and not knowing into this in one moment at a time. You're beautiful, and simply just because of who I am. And this is not for just the quote for the you can find the country, for you can find the country on the inside the sin. Philosophies of lessons, motivation to your inspiration, to be confident in many days to be wasted. Comparing yourself with others and wishing, and strengthening your weakness. It's only for the accepting of what you succeed. You're the decade for the nothing then happens in the weeks and then you're something, what else? Suffer the whole life with just in the meeting and additional good. You're the piling of things to go for the meaningful things. Advice for the night, question your choice for the suggestions or the future with just love. I always feel like this all thing differently with the deeper people didn't. Be strong but not rude, be kind, not weak. Humble to the proud, but I'm not arrogant either. Soft for the concept, but the final piece of the people sharing me with you.